Maximalism is a tough type of style to pull off. When you get it wrong, you get it really, really wrong. Today, we are going to be talking about the best way to do the maximalist style as a plus size woman. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Oralia and I am so excited to talk about today's subject. I'm going to be talking about maximalism and how to do maximalism the right way. As I said in the opening, maximalism is a style that can easily go wrong, and when it goes wrong, it goes very wrong. I'm going to provide you some style tips, some guidelines as a personal stylist, how to dress in the maximalist style as a plus size, because the sentiment I think out there is that being plus size is just, it's going to be too much for maximalism. And I 100% disagree with that. I think that you can dress the way that you want to dress as long as you love how you feel and what you're wearing, as long as it makes you feel your most confident and best self, then it's the right way to dress. I asked in my 2025 trends video if you wanted a video kind of taking a deep dive into maximalism and how to do it well. And I got a resounding yes. So that is why I decided to tackle this subject. And it's a fun one. Now, disclaimer, I am not a maximalist. My personal style is very far removed from maximalism. I am on the other side of the spectrum. Not quite minimalist, but definitely somebody that dresses in a more classic tailored style that's a bit more subdued. But as a personal stylist, of course, I work with many clients with many different style personas. And so I have to know how to dress someone in a maximalist style if that's what they want to wear. So I'm sharing some of my insights. I'm sharing some of my advice, the way that I would talk with a client. So with all of that said, let's go ahead and let's dive in. Maximalism is a way of dressing that is really very out there. You are really, really pushing things. You are wearing a lot of different pieces. Eclectic is a good word to describe maximalism, but eclectic in a really ostentatious way. You are wearing things and mixing patterns and mixing colors and wearing bolder pieces and really standout pieces, a lot of one-of-a-kind pieces with maximalism. As a matter of fact, I think a maximalist really achieves maximalism well when they thrift. They have to go out and look at vintage clothing. They have to go out and look at thrift stores, because that's the one place where you're going to find pieces that are very unique, that are not easily found. Maximalism really thrives on individuality and very, very creative. To be a maximalist, you have to be very confident, because you are definitely calling attention to yourself. You can't be a shy violet and be maximalist. You have to be somebody that really doesn't mind getting people's attention, doesn't mind having people look. In my trends video, I said that maximalists are a breed all their own, and it is so true. They really, really are. They have a very strong possession of their own personal style. They know what they like, they understand how to mix these things, and even if it's an untraditional way of mixing things, they're okay with it because it makes them happy and they're going to wear what makes them happy. But there are some guidelines to follow with maximalism. Maximalism is a very creative way of dressing. It's got a lot of bold color and a lot of bold pattern and a lot of things that mix that you normally wouldn't think would mix. But there is a method to the madness. But that sense of creativity that maximalists have is something I think to be admired, and there's a lot to learn from it. Creativity, especially in how we dress and how we express ourselves, is so very important. Which brings me to the sponsor of today's video, and that is Skillshare. Skillshare is a learning platform for creatives, for people who want to expand their creativity. They want to work their creative muscle. And creativity as a practice is something that I think that we should all incorporate into our lives. I think that it would be a really big benefit. Just like with health and wellness, you work your muscles out, you develop positive habits. Creativity is the same way. It is a muscle, it is a habit, and something that you need to use in order to get better at it. And Skillshare is the perfect place for you to learn more about creative endeavors, whether it's you want to learn how to paint, or you want to learn how to draw, or maybe filmmaking, even things more technical like learning how to use ChatGPT or learning how to use Notion. Regardless, Skillshare is an excellent platform to go explore a lot of different creative endeavors so that you can expand your own mind, because having that creativity as practice, it really helps to push yourself outside of the boundaries. And when you push yourself like that, you cause growth, you incur growth. And growing is so important. We always have to be growing, we always have to be learning, because that is how we keep our brain flexible, that is how we stay vital, that is how we keep living our lives to the fullest. Skillshare and I have worked together on multiple occasions, and I'm really always excited to work with them because I firmly believe that learning is important, and flexing that creative muscle is also very, very important. You can take courses, you can do it in a few different ways. You can either take the courses individually, or you can embark on a learning path. And the learning path is really awesome because it's a series of courses that Skillshare has put together that will get you from point A to point Z in a way that makes sense for a creative endeavor. There are so many different learning paths because there are thousands of courses that are put up by creatives for creatives. And I love that. I really, really have enjoyed working with Skillshare. I've enjoyed learning from Skillshare. There are so many things that I have learned with Skillshare, from planning to cooking to filmmaking to storytelling and so much more. So if you're interested in trying Skillshare out, I will have a link in the description bar as well as pinned to the comment. The first 500 people to use my link with Skillshare will get 1 month free. I think it's an excellent opportunity for you to give Skillshare a try and determine if it is something for you. I think that you will enjoy it quite a bit because there is so much out there. And who doesn't like to learn in bite-sized pieces? One of the other things about Skillshare that I really appreciate, by the way, is that it is on-demand learning. So you can learn at your own pace, take the courses at your own pace. They even have coursework that they give you if you want to. You can turn it in to get feedback from the instructor. It is just such a great platform and so easy to use, and it's such an excellent way of keeping your mind moving and learning new things. So give Skillshare a try with the link I've got in the description bar as well as pinned to the comment. Thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Let's go ahead and let's get back to it. Because we're exercising our creative muscle, maximalism is an excellent way to do that. However, I will say that there are some guidelines that apply even to maximalism. So the first thing is that you should have a solid foundation of basics in your wardrobe. And this holds true for any style persona. Regardless of whether you're a minimalist onward to maximalist, you should always have a solid foundation of basics in your wardrobe. And for maximalism, that doesn't mean that they have to be neutral. I would say that it might be helpful to have at least black and white. You can do any kind of color that you enjoy wearing in a basic silhouette, like a t-shirt or a button down or a trouser, blazers, coats and things like that, that are going to be the building blocks of any wardrobe. And that will help to enable maximalism even better. Whatever you get, you should be able to style it at least 3 ways, if not 5 ways, in your current wardrobe. Maximalists tend to be, like I said, very eclectic, and they tend to think that they can just pick whatever because they like it. They're very impulsive in that way. I think that if you are intentional about the pieces that you're bringing in, so you see something that's really beautiful, it's got a beautiful print or a beautiful color or whatever, right? And you want to bring it into your wardrobe, make sure that you can style that piece at least 3 ways in your wardrobe, in your current wardrobe, or up to 5 ways in your current wardrobe without you having to buy other things to make it go in and work into the wardrobe. Okay, so that rule also applies regardless of style persona. This rule is a key rule for anyone. You always want to mind your proportions. That'll take it from a really beautiful execution of maximalism to clown town. when you're wearing things that are out of proportion, like you're wearing something big on top and something big on bottom, and it's really bold and colorful, and it's, mixed and different patterns and things like that. When you have the wrong proportions, that's really going to make you look like a clown, I think. It will not work very well for you. It's not flattering for anyone, but especially in a maximalist style, that's where you can easily go wrong, is when you don't mind your proportions. So if you're wearing something really big and bulky on top and you want to pile on the accessories, that's fine. Just make sure that you've got things toned down just a little bit as far as silhouette goes on the bottom. I would even say maybe incorporate a solid to kind of help break things up a little bit and ground them some, provide some grounding. So always mind your proportions. Make sure that what you're wearing is proportionate and also works well, which will promote the next point that I have, and that is that you always want to look cohesive. You want to look intentional in your maximalism. You don't want to look like you just threw it all on. There's got to be some elements of cohesion within the outfit in order for it to work really, really well, in order for you to avoid that clown appearance, that overdone, over, the top appearance. I mean, maximalism is over the top as it is, but you don't want to add that extra. You want to maintain some sort of cohesion in your outfits so that way you look very pulled together. You can be sophisticated and elegant even in a maximalist way. So keep those guidelines in mind. I'm not going to do a deep dive into color. I have done a couple of color videos in the past, and I will have that playlist linked up here in the card so that you can go check it out afterward, where I take a deeper dive into how to mix colors and how to wear color. But I do want to give you a Cliff's Notes version of those videos. So you've got colors that are complementary, and then you've got colors that are harmonious. Now, colors that are complementary to one another actually live across the color wheel from each other. So think orange and blue, or yellow and purple, those types of opposites on the color wheel. Those are always going to look really good together. They're really going to give you a lot of visual punch when you mix them, when you're wearing them together. The other color theory is harmonious color. And harmonious color are the colors that live next to each other on a color wheel. So you've got blue and you've got yellow, and in the middle you've got green. And there's many shades of blue to turquoise to green to kind of like a limey color onto yellow. So you've got all of those colors right there. Those are all considered harmonious because they're sitting next to each other on the color wheel. Those are the ones that are going to be the easiest on the eye. I'm going to be honest with you, because the complementary colors are going to be a little bit more visually impactful because they're on the opposite side of the color wheel. Take these considerations when you're mixing your colors. Do you want to have something that's a little bit more calm, or do you want to have something that's really out there, that's going to be really bright and punchy? So it's just up to you on which you want to do. But again, you've got your complementaries and you've got your harmonious. And again, I would say go watch my color videos for a lot more in-depth information on what those two mean and how to wear them together. A lot of people tend to think that pattern mixing is really, really super complicated, but it's not. It looks complicated because it's kind of scary, to mix patterns. But honestly, pattern mixing is one of the easiest things to do. With pattern mixing, the rule of thumb is to just make sure that the patterns that you're going to be mixing all have one common denominator, have got a common element, whether that's color, whether that's shape, or it's just a repeat of something. So say, for instance, you want to mix a geometric print with a floral print. Let's say the geometric print has orange in it. Well, you want to make sure that the print that you select to go with it also has orange. It can have other colors as well, but it has to have that orange, because that orange is going to be the common denominator that's going to help have that cohesion within the pattern mix. If you're thinking about the type of pattern that you're using, polka dots are a really easy way of mixing pattern because it's just a matter of different sizes of polka dots, regardless of the colorway or the fact that they're all polka dots, even though one is a black and white polka dot, the other one could be a red and white polka dot, and then maybe you've got something in a yellow and white polka dot. You can mix all of those because the common denominator is the polka dot. So always just make sure that you've got that one commonality, whether it's color or pattern, in your pattern mixing, and you're going to be just fine. Now, you could absolutely do maximalism in a very classic and tailored kind of way. It is just a matter of taking your classic and tailored silhouettes, so like a blazer, for instance, and putting a print or a color to it. It could be a hot pink blazer, and it's solid, or it could be a blazer that's got some kind of a really cool print on it, whether it's a floral or a foil or whatever the case may be. Same holds true with trench coats. I find that trench coats are really easy to do maximalist because you've got your classic, traditional, solid, neutral trench coat, but you also have a whole plethora of trench coats out there that are patterned or that have a color, that are made of a color. So you can absolutely incorporate these classic pieces with a maximalist style. And I think that honestly, if I were to do maximalism, that's probably the way that I would go with it, because I love my classic tailored pieces, but you would do them in a pattern or a color or something like that, and then mix the colorways or mix the patterns together and, just come up with something really beautiful, very sophisticated still, but maximalist in nature. Because I'm personally not a maximalist. I don't have anything that I can model for you that's maximalist, but I did pull together some mood boards. I'm going to go through those next with you. All of those boards, by the way, are going to be shoppable. If you want to actually reference them outside of this video, then head on over to my Substack. I will be posting a companion post on my Substack for this video that's going to have all of these boards, and they're, like I said, they are shoppable. You can shop them on Substack, or you will be able to shop them in the description bar. I will have them linked through my LTK shop. So let's go ahead and let's talk about the different maximalist outfits. All right, so we're going to start out by tackling the scariest of all of these looks, and that is the pattern mix. So what I've done here is I have chosen a really bold blazer, and I really love the idea of taking a classic silhouette and adding a really crazy pattern and colorway to it. And here we are playing with the geometrics in the pant. I went with a lot of angles in the pant, but I kept it monochromatic with black and white. Then I reintroduced color with the kitten heel pump. It has all of the colors pretty much that we find in the blazer, but it's in a floral print, and this is how you mix and match the different styles of print. Then I've got a cute pair of earrings that have the colors of the blazer in them. They're in a very modern art kind of way, and I thought that I would have a little bit of fun with the orange bag. I found this on Shopbop, and I just thought it was the cutest thing, and it would add just the right touch of whimsy, which is perfect maximalist style. So for our office look, I used this plaid trench coat as my jumping off point. I liked the unique colorway, and I played up the greens in the jacket with the trousers as well as the blouse. The blouse does have a little bit of the light blue and yellow and orange that we find in the trench coat, tying it together. Then with a pair of mossy green suede pumps. Suede is so hot this season, I couldn't resist. And then I absolutely love the tote bag. I think the tote bag is so cute. Once again, using my accessories to add some whimsy to the outfit, which again falls straight in line with maximalist style. I kept the jewelry very simple, just a pair of bold earrings to complement everything but not overtake it. I think that this is an excellent look for the office. Next, I have something that's a little more demure for church or some other occasion where you have to be a bit more modest. I love this lemony yellow jacket. It's from Boden, and I think it is just the cutest thing. And I found this skirt also on Boden, which I thought would be so fun. I love lemons. I love lemons on anything, and I thought that this was so cute, punctuated with cherries. I picked the same suede shoes from the previous look. I love that mossy green. I think it just works really well with this look. And then I brought in a Kate Spade bag in a cherry red that also kind of has that rounded cherry shape. I kept the earrings minimal again because this is church, of course. We don't want to be overly crazy, but I think that this is such a beautiful outfit that could also work at the office. Then for a night out or a wedding guest outfit, I went really bold with red and pink and blush. I just love this dress. I think it is so beautiful for an event or a date night. And I played up the colors by bringing in the floral earrings that play off of that hot pink or dark pink and purplish kind of hue. And then I have also a bag that's got a big rose applique on it. I think that's so beautiful. And of course, the shoes also had to have a little bit of applique on it, playing off of the floral theme here. And this is a perfect example of going with a harmonious color palette. They all work very well together and just are a little bit easier on the eye, even though they are in a rich, bold color. This is definitely a look that will turn heads. The last look is a running errands look. I picked a few casual pieces. I've got the Spanx Air Essentials in a dark blue, and then I found this beautiful floral print blouse on the Boden website. And I brought in the New Balance 327s just to help carry off that casual air. I brought in that red bag from Kate Spade once again, because even though it is a Kate Spade bag, it has structure, but it doesn't have structure. So I thought that it would be good for running errands. Brought in those really cute little earrings again to tie in all of the colors. And then I thought that I would go for something a little unusual and a little bit whimsical in a sock pop. Yes, I love these socks because when you cross your legs or maybe you're walking around or whatever, sometimes your socks will show. And it's really nice to have a really bright, beautiful pair of socks that kind of drive that maximalist point. I hope that you enjoyed those outfit ideas. Thank you again, Skillshare, for sponsoring today's video. And make sure to click the link in the description bar or in the pinned comment on this video. Try it out for a month for free. I'm going to leave you with my color playlist here so that you can learn a little bit more about how to wear color. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. I truly appreciate it, and I hope to see you in that playlist. Bye.